This draft is where we started when we made the Kizerg
yes.
acronym for Nongshim playing for Annie Wukong. And maybe that can be enough here, as Charvel, I don't think, had a bad series, but he just didn't have the same impact that Lucid has. And it felt very similar to the Delight situation where he was subbed out for bluffing, and it maybe reinvigorated him. Let's see what that looks like for Lucid today.
Yeah, hopefully it's good news. He was still here throughout that whole series that Charvel was playing, looking very relaxed in the coach's booth between games. They did lose one, I believe, in that series, but were able to ultimately come out ahead, as Cassio, Orianna both going to be taken away here from D+ Kia. And we'll see whether the good old Karma ban is going to come on through. The Rumble could be a ban that they look at. The Nautilus is an interesting one. It might see D+ heading towards a Karma first pick themselves.
Lehens has looked very comfortable on the pick. It's a very Lehens pick, as we've discussed many times, so that might be a big part of it. Nocturne is also going to be banned away. Isn't it interesting how Lulu has just like disappeared from the LCK as well? We're not seeing Nocturne Lulu anymore. We're not seeing Yunara.
The Anivia ban. So they're going for a Rise answer to whatever D+ first pick here, I guess.
But D+ could also just first pick Rise.
Oh, don't
with
be
all
silly,
these
Wolf.
mid laners blocked in, or banned away.
But Scout is a really good Taliyah player, so maybe there's that little angle that they might be going for. Showmaker also very happy to play the Taliyah himself. So maybe that's the dance they're going to have to do. The Karma is going to be locked in, though. And so now Diablo going to lock in the Ezreal, and they'll take the Ezreal Bard into the matchup. And Sponge will take away that Rise that we were talking about before.
Yep. They'll get the Bard in that third spot.
So Taliyah Caitlyn, is that just what it is here for D+? Or the Jarvan?
Jarvan and Ezreal is a little tricky. A little bit surprised by that. But they're going to go for the Jhin, so this makes it work a little bit better here. I know how you feel about it.
I wasn't going to say anything, Wolf. I'm trying to be a changed man, you know?
I do think it works well with the Jarvan. We'll see what the rest of this comp looks like before we say it's good or
As that Bard we were talking about.
Good. And the Bard was... You pretty much laid everything down in the first few seconds there of what's going to happen.
Sorry. Should I do it a little bit more, like, let's wait and see?
No, it's LCK game one. We knew what was up. I mean, the Caitlyn that you mentioned didn't come through because they chose the Jhin. But you only mentioned Caitlyn because you're biased and you.
Yeah, I just didn't want it to be Jhin.
Yeah,
I didn't want to manifest. You know, I'm not doing that.
So a fourth Showmaker ban with the Twisted.
Yeah, do they ban TF and then Taliyah? Is that what they're going to do? Like, just ban 5 mid laners?
That's a pretty likely situation.
And then he'll just play Victor and be really happy?
I don't know. If they play Victor, I think they need something that's very aggressive on the top side of the map that can go in to set up this Jhin. So I think Victor doesn't work well with Jhin, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's impossible to play. They could ban something completely different, like a safe top lane pick for Xiu, which, like the Gnar, for example, would be a good one.
Annie is another Showmaker ban.
Another Showmaker ban also works well with the Jhin because you set up the guaranteed flourish when you hit that stun, which can either be with a Tibbers or just a Q that flies at decent range. Lee Sin going to be taken away, so the jungle pool is where the targets were here for D+. Not quite as targeted as the Showmaker bans. They'll just end up with the Rumble, so probably going to get a Cassante, which is what I thought would be one of the better picks left for this Jhin here, unless they want to go Ambessa Jhin, which also works. So this is Xiu's choice.
Oh, I actually wouldn't mind that.
They can kind of do whatever they want here because they are playing 2 counter picks. So they can get both counter picks for the solo laners in this situation.
So Galio Taliyah is a lot of global
power,
pressure.
Yeah.
That being said, it's not a massive amount of damage.
No.
Neither is this, but it is a little bit more robust, as that is the sort of weapon of choice at the moment into the Rumble. Cassante will be picked up here for Xiu. I think Showmaker is just going to play Taliyah or Victor, I guess.
Yeah. I like Taliyah more for the comp, but for the damage issue, I like the Victor.
Yeah.
He could also do something completely different and play like Mel or something else and just try not to interact with the Rise, but that's just so unlikely.
And it's Showmaker, right? He's found a lot of success on the Victor, and so I think that this makes a lot of sense for comfort reasons.
Yeah, he's been so dominant in lane on this pick that he can generate an advantage on his own. And it is so funny to me. I mean, I guess funny is not the right word, but somewhat ironic is it's going to be Fury. So not the greatest setup for an Fury in this draft, but we'll get to that later. I just find it interesting that when we think about Showmaker's most recent picks and his most recent dominance in lane, this Victor is the first pick that comes to mind. He banned 5 mid lane champions, and he's just like, well, I'll play Victor, though.
Yeah, and the thing is as well, like we've seen Talia as a pick into the Rise and has found some success at the same time. I feel like if these bans had have been Victor Talia instead of TF and Annie, I think they would have been in an even better position in this game.
Or just ban like the Rumble counter pick of the Cassante as well, if that's where you're planning on going.
Yeah.
I think the Victor is not a great pairing with Jhin, but they have so much frontline that I think it's going to work out okay. And they needed the damage, so...
And also, I do think that, like, with the AoE nature of a Victor as well, like, throwing down the gravity field and then lining up these deadly flourishes, captive audience, like, all of these things that Jhin can do that require you to stand still is something that a Victor can also capitalize on and provide, given the initial CC is going to work. And you can make plays off of slows quite effectively from both of those champions as well. So the Karma can have a fair bit of value. Lucid putting them into a circle is going to be high value as well. And so D plus Kia's composition, pretty scary. Nongshim, though, certainly do have some power points as well. All right, here we are, ladies and gentlemen, under the Rift 4. Game number 1 between Nongshim and D plus Kia.
Match 90. We're all the way here. It feels like time flew by.
It really did. It feels like these first 2 round robins kind of, you blink and you miss it. But we do now have our Legend group locked in, our Rise group locked in. This time around, Nongshim, they're going to be Rising. And D plus Kia are Legends. And one Legend is standing on a ward. See whether that is going to affect anything, and the answer is absolutely not. Lehens just gets hit by a Mantra Q and is having a bit of a bad time, but that's all right. He's the Bard. He'll be able to eat some cocoa. And actually, it is the hot cocoa skin.
Yeah, this matchup is pretty volatile because Bard is one of the best champions into the Karma in this meta, and Jhin is going to be struggling to actually do consistent damage output, whereas Diablo can do a lot of that and can poke and weave these Qs in and clear the minions fast as well. So Career needs to be hitting every single Q. And so far, a great start in that regard.
As he misses one, but that's okay.
Caster curses are real!
Yeah, they are a little bit real. Chronicler, that's another one for the bank of incredible amounts of examples we have of caster curses being real. Deadly Flourish is going to go wide. So Lehen's going to avoid that bit of danger, but he's got his cocoa set up, man. He is
double
ready.
Marshmallows are ready.
They can have a date, you know, next to the turret. They can both have one. It'd be delicious.
It's
hot cocoa.
pretty hot to be drinking hot cocoa, though. Scouts in the Mystic Cannon.
I mean, you just blast the AC, you know, and just pretend it's a winter's morning.
Yeah, it's a little bit of climate control, you know.
Yeah.
Turn your house into an igloo.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter about the AC bill.
Hey, deceptively, Wolf, igloos are quite warm.
That's actually a good point. That's actually a really good point.
And they still drink cocoa in igloos. I'm sure they do.
I know you just like you say the obvious, and then but like in my mind that just you broke me. I'm like, wow, why would I have ever said that? I mean, I understand why I said it, but like I was never as wrong, like confidently thought I was saying a good thing and then being completely turned around.
No, I mean, it's okay. And it's probably because igloos are mainly used by people like in the Arctic Circle.
Sure. So maybe drinking hot cocoa outside of the igloo is what it might be better to say.
Yeah. So if they're sitting outside their igloo on the igloo balcony, then you're probably, you know, going to get some value out of that.
But I mean, my idea was like the AC is so high that it's like an igloo, but then it's not because the igloos aren't warm. So I'm like, I'm really trying to get myself out. So I'm like, in a house where there is an igloo inside.
Because they're sitting around the igloo like it's a campfire.
So like let's just say like in Seoul, someone has an igloo built inside of their house on May 31st in the beginning of summer, where it's nearing 30 degrees outside. And then they have the AC on super cold, and it's super cold next to the igloo, which also provides some form of cold air coming off.
It sounds like a supreme waste of energy, but
well, I mean,
it does seem like a cool idea.
Cocoa, you know, you got to drink it like you said.
Yeah, exactly, and it's got to be cold weather while you do it. And it's all right. Smash going to find a Deadly Flourish here as Diablo with a very preemptive barrier. Gets a lot of value out of it, though, as we can see. Q misses there from Korea. as heal in trade for heal and barrier on Nongshim's side, but they do get control of the wave as Wolf is saved by the action here in the bottom lane.
Please. No more.
You were really spiraling for a few moments there. I didn't know how to save you, I'm not going to lie.
Well, I can also point out that right now Showmaker is winning the lane really hard. He has a pretty hefty CS advantage right now, and even though he used his TP, he's going to get Scout to back. Scout has Ghost, but this is going to be slowly Rise trotting back to the lane. We got to get some of these minions. Actually, looks like we'll get all of them.
Yeah.
But this is exactly what we're talking about. It's like 5 mid-bans, and Showmaker's like, cool, I'm 15 CS up.
Yeah. He was always, and he's probably always going to play the victor anyway. As Shiu is going to burn down, we have to remember that this is Kingin's Rumble. He is so good at this champion. It's, oh my god. As we say it, the Harpoon just barely misses.
Kingin's going to get 6, by the way. Shiu just used his shield. I don't know if he can back there.
Well, I mean, if Kingin gets vision of him, Shiu is going to have his back interrupted.
Okay,
let's just say that.
He did not
We've
see
seen
him.
this play before, but Sponge is Neferi in this situation. Has now smashed down to about 50%, has used his barrier. Deadly Flourish is named somewhat correctly. But Sponge just fighting Lucid for now. The D+ bottom lane, I mean, they're taking a lot of these cheeky Mystic shots from Diablo, and he is like able to get himself about a wave in advantage in this bottom lane.
Yeah, playing the Ezreal out very, very well here. As
Really
now
nice
they're going
Deadly
in.
Flourish. Yeah, Lucid actually holding onto the flag and drag just in case he needs it to escape, and he is going to use it for exactly that reason. Scout now going to be walking on over. The Arcane Storm goes down, and Scout now having to ghost over towards his teammates. Lahen's looking a little worse for wear, as the Magical Journey going to be taken a very short distance.
This is giving me anxiety.
Oh my goodness, there's a flag and drag. Down goes Lahen's, as Scout's now in a lot of trouble. Sponge is at about 100 health, and Smash flashes on top of them and reloads all over the place, and then dies. But Diablo is now looking for Korea, who just smashes him with a Q. That is 3 dead on the side of Nongshim, and D+ pick up 4 kills.
That's a combination of former and current Rise group, baby.
Oh yeah.
As this is a 4v4 in the bottom lane. You know, bottom lane is the meta. We've had a lot of 2v2s out of 3v3s to side games. 4v4 here in this early one is a little bit wild as Smash flashes through.
Yeah, just like, I'm reloading everywhere.
He dies. But he got that shot in, and that's what counts. And what doesn't count is Diablo's kill, because he didn't get one on the career there, but he was very close and would have made things better. But now D+, after that really patient 4v4 they played through, and Showmaker, the lead that he has right now still remains, are firmly in control of this this game state. And I can't fault Nongshim for the setup, because it felt like they were just waiting and biding their time. Like, they were poking with Diablo, they were trying to get that damage in, they were being measured with their aggression as well, they weren't overextending, but eventually, just kind of, when push comes to shove, comes to what's after that, I don't know.
Yeah.
Elbowing and stomping on each other. Everyone was eventually in melee range with each other, and then we had a 4v4 fight.
Yeah, and I think it started with Lahen's just taking so much
he took
damage
too much
from poke.
He did.
And from that point, I mean, Lucy just going with the Flag and Dragon, one-shot him with his passive, and down he would go. Shiu now going all out towards Kingin here, who puts down the red carpet, and Shiu would have to walk down that if he does want to fight the Rumble. So that is going to be ult for ult in trade here, and Shiu looking like he's in a much better position at this stage. Obviously does want to hit a couple of items, Spectre's Cowl especially. And by a couple of items, I mean just like a couple of legendary items, right? Like not necessarily picking up a full item just yet, but does want at least that Spectre's Cowl to feel good in this
When
matchup.
you look at the fact that Rumble just got plated steel caps, but Shiu got boots as well as that cloak, you're like, okay, this is really good for Shiu. Because he has the movement speed he needs, but also all of that additional MR. He has even more now, and he has completed this back. Kingin does have teleport advantage. Is going to try to push this wave in one more time. And Lahen's is not having fun getting poked by everyone in this game.
Yeah, he is just really taking damage.
He's a pin cushion.
He is indeed. Not exactly barding in the most fun way. But it is Lahen's 10-year anniversary. which is kind of cute. That's what we're celebrating here at LoL Park today.
Yeah.
Let's see whether he can have a better time as this game goes on, or especially if this series goes on, as the Cycle Sword is done here for Sponge. It's a decent first item spike, but he is yet to come back out onto the map, and that should be Lucid locking down this dragon without too much opposition.
Diablo just going to try to hold his own here as Lehen struggles to get back to the lane. Some plates are going to go over. The dragon goes over. This Jhin starting to get rolling a little bit here. The main gold lead on the bottom side of the map is careers, but it's partially because Lehen just doesn't have a lot of gold. And in the mid lane, Showmaker's still very online. And this composition is going to scale really well, so Nongshim need to find an in somewhere. Lehen's going to try to maybe get a split back here.
Yeah, a bit of a wraparound. His career is going to cancel his back, but that does mean that Lehens is not going to quite find the angle, especially without some Neferi support, who is moving down towards the bottom side, but will be distracted by his Raptor camp for a few moments, as that one is coming back up. Lehens needing to be a little careful here, but Smash not going to find the Deadly Flourish.
Yeah, he gets 2 stops of the backs, and now Smash kind of priced into staying here.
Okay, Xiu looking for another angle here. Does have the all-out back up and available once again, but Kingen also has the equalizer, obviously. Sponge and Lucid just doing battle with one another. Some more daggers will fly, and it's kind of unfair, isn't it, that Sponge can press Q twice, but Lucid can't. That's a release date for you. As now Career taking a fair bit of damage, but also able to lock down Sponge, who goes up into the sky, and then has to flash to get the heck out of there. Oh, Deathfire Touch is gonna kill him! And D+ get another one.
Okay, Lehen's also in trouble.
The world's smallest magical journey, as Lehens is, dead.
He bought some time though, didn't he, Atlas?
He did. He tended to. The fate was sealed, unfortunately. Yoni's not here, but his ult remains.
My expectations didn't need to be tempered. I knew he was gonna die. I was like, I think he's gonna die. That's my expectation. He was like, temper that.
It's called tempered fate, not tempted fate. And I think he definitely tempted fate.
He did do that. As now Showmaker, who had the biggest lead in the game, has 1,200 gold the advantage. And so that's not good for Nongshim. It's in the cons column.
Yeah.
In this game, as here, it's just not only the Blackfire touch, but the Blackfire torch as well. He's like, how did I kill him? He forgot about his burn damage.
Yeah.
Imagine, like, I mean, I can't think you could transpose 2 different reactions. Sponge is super upset, and Showmaker's like, wait, how did I kill him?
Yeah. Showmaker's just like, oh, okay. Did he have Blackfire Torch at the same time?
He did. He was torching and touching.
He was torching. Oh, no. That's
and
the wombo combo.
He was Death Black Torch touching. It's the worst.
That really does sound pretty awful, Wolf. I don't want to hear about that again. It's not something that I want. It's all right. Lehens, he's going to get stunned up here momentarily, but is otherwise going to be all right. As the Jhin Karma is working out. It's doing what it's supposed to do. Diablo not too far behind. The problem is, like, the whole team is 3,000 gold down.
They're losing everywhere, is the real thing. This is a good try.
All right, well, Scout is going to see whether he can find an angle as the Tempered Fate does come on through. That is just going to buy some time for Smash, though, as they do line up the Cosmic Binding Career, doing his very best to distract them, and Smash is barely taking damage. Now the curtains are getting called as Lehens. Oh, dear. Diablo's going to have to tank that one up for him, as, it just takes so much damage. And Lucid, oh, dear. Lehens is in one-shot range, isn't he? Flag, drag, kill. And let's see whether Lucid is able to go for it here. Just trying to intercept some backs. As the Cataclysm comes down, Diablo able to get out of there. And oh god, they just baited him. Shovel wouldn't have fallen for that.
Okay. Showmaker's like, whatever, I got the whole turret. It's fine.
Wait a second. There's an ulti from Sponge as well. As he's like, Lucid's my favorite jungler. I'm going to do the same thing that he did. And unfortunately for D+ Kia, Sponge is not going to die. Showmaker is once again not going to be successful.
You can see Showmaker in his eyes, him like just checking the minimap repeatedly. He's like, He's like, how many more autos can I get? He's like, you guys good down there? He's like, you guys good down there? They're like, not really. He's like, okay, hold on, let me get this plate.
Oh no, it's Sponge's worst nightmare. Showmaker, and that thing that you were talking about that I'm not going to mention again.
Okay, well, initially here, it looks like the Realm Warp play could go off without a hitch. But Smash flashes and buffers the root, and then this ult actually stops the True Shot
The
barrage.
ultimate counter synergy.
And then they get the heal, and the Smash is just like, you don't have damage. You're early game Rise. Go away. And he's like, I mean it. And so they have to tank all these shots, so Diablo is also going to have to take a bunch of damage here. And so this becomes appealing now for Lucid as control of the jungle to go over and look for some backstops and potentially some kills. I don't think they needed to do this. I think we all know in hindsight they definitely didn't. Because they all barely escape, which is quite absurd and funny.
Yeah, the fact that he sees Sponge, he's like, no, I shouldn't do it. But then the voices were too loud. And he decides to go for it anyway. 1 versus 4, even though they are low. I mean, I don't know whether there was a monkeys that he was going to make that one happen.
Even though he dies there, Nongshim is still 3,000 gold behind us. They're going to look to TP on the Showmaker. Get that bounty!
Well, he's walking. He's going to flash as there's the Tempered Fate. Showmaker tries to get in, but is unable to get there. That was a better one from Lehens. And even the True Shot barrage able to help tidy up that wave. As now Lucid wants to be able to grab Double Dragon. He will successfully do that. And
all
the
right.
rest of DK do back away.
So now the gold lead shrinks by about 1,000 here for D+. The Tempered Fate does shut down the turret, so it's very easy to follow up and kill Showmaker there.
There is an
get away.
entire wave just disintegrating to this top outer turret, though.
Yeah, that's not ideal, but got bounty.
Indeed.
This is how they got the bounty, with a TPing Rumble, who's just going to say, I want money, we're going to get this money. I actually didn't see who got the kill. Okay, it does go over to the Rumble ultimately, so even though he lost a lot of the wave, he's going to get the gold and the bounty from Showmaker there.
Yep, Showmaker's still very far ahead, but it is not looking too bad.
And actually, the Rumble has a gold lead after that shutdown.
There you go.
So kind of worth, you know, I'd say pretty worth it, but let's see what happens next, because D+ are still in a position where Showmaker, he's just got a big amount of gold. Even though they killed him, they can't take what he already earned away.
And by the way, Wolf, we don't have 7 Hextech Souls in a row.
Oh, yeah, good point.
Yeah, so we will have an Infernal in this game. It's kind of fun. As Lehen's not going to get knocked up, but he's still taking a lot of damage. Another Cataclysm does come down as Sponge able to flip out of the way, but Lehen's not able to do that, as there is at least a Realm Warp to save the Neferi, but Doggo going to have to go home, and Scout is in a Gravity Well, not having a great time, as now Lucid just going to babysit the Rise. We'll let him leave, but it looks like this top outer turret is going to fall.
Smash.
They've already taken first turret. That's why they're at a 3.3k gold lead.
Smash is just chilling in the mid lane as well. He's so ahead because they have. In terms of his gold, he's only 250 ahead, but okay, Shield.
Oh yeah, I thought that maybe we'd get an all out, but we did not.
Smash right now has 2 items completed, and he has the Ghost Blade into just single item Ezreal, so that's the lead more than the gold shows, and he has control over the top side jungle, so if they try to make a play onto him, it's not going to work out. So he's just constantly pushing the mid lane. They got that mid turret, so there's not even a safety net for Diablo. Has to play back and safe. So the prio for D+ couldn't be any stronger from mid and top. On the bottom lane, you know, there's still 2 plates among both turrets, but not necessarily a safe place to be either for Nongshim. Have to kind of sit back and farm until we get to that second item. Diablo, as D+ here, trying to collapse on the Lehen. Showmaker, so much damage already in this game.
And couldn't click the Magical Journey, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So a little bit of a shame. Still, Sponge able to make his way out of there. And Scout also was allowed to leave, but the top outer turret does eventually fall down, and this bottom one is probably going to be the next on the agenda for D+, moving to a 3.5k gold lead. 2 minutes on the Dragon, and Sponge already using his untarget ability, Career moving over, and Smash finds a 4th shot, and not a deadly flourish, so the Doggo will escape.
We're fighting in the bottom lane.
Yep, Lehen's going to have to flash on top of Showmaker here. The Equalizer goes down, Tempered Fate. I mean, it kind of works like a stopwatch here for Showmaker. I'm not sure about that one. As Lehens is dead, Career is going to be able to look at the Rumble as well to help out. A Smash's barrier is going to absorb a lot of that True Shot barrage, and Chiu looking for an angle towards Scout. I'm still kind of mind-boggled by the Lehen's ulti, as the curtains are being called here onto Scout. Actually finds Diablo in the backline, and one more shot. Chiu, okay, just goes all out, pulls him out of the curtain call, but doesn't really care about that. The last bullet did go through, and there's the Q to take down Scout. Flash in from Shiu. They do manage to take down Sponge, and Shiu's just kind of going ballistic, looking for Diablo, doesn't hit the Q. And so the Ezreal will live. Might actually be able to do a bit of work here to Shu, but he just stands beside his teammate. The rest of D+ are just taking down an inner turret in this bottom lane. It's going to be a 7,000 gold lead.
There's just, I mean, they're winning literally everywhere. I don't even, like, it's hard to even quantify and sum up in the amount of time we have to how ahead D+ are and how much they just got out of this exchange. Is they're going to try to TP on the Showmaker again. Guess what? He also has TP. He's going to TP over Kingan's head and say, nice try, buddy. And so in this play here,
I don't want to see it again.
By the way, even if they kill him, they're going to die because the rotation is coming down. They do not, however, kill him, as this is like wastes Kingan's entire empowered Q.
Yeah.
It did not work out at all. They didn't really coordinate that one. And this is just one of those Nongshim coordination issue things that we've been talking about. And here, 2 levels up, Shiu, who has a lot of MR because he laned into a Rumble, is like, Scout can't hurt me. I guess I'll go in on this. I actually like the angle on this final shot because it's basically like them saying like, okay, you either are going to get hit by a shot and die and get slowed, or you're going to get pulled to the wall. Scout has no choice, and so he dies.
The zoning curtain call shot.
Yeah, it was really cool. And that's the coordination you want to have, by the way. Like, kind of the antithesis of what we saw with that Tempered Fate.
In the meantime, though, we do have a Drake started up here by Nongshim. Cataclysm goes down immediately, though. Knock up City here for Lucid. As Lahans, the Arcane Storm, not going to catch him, but Scout is very, very dead. The Death Ray is what finishes off Lahans in the end, as now Sponge having to flash away. The Equalizer is just something that Showmaker wants to bask in as he picks up a triple kill. They'll grab themselves the soul point at the same time, and Nongshim are closing in on a 10,000 gold disadvantage as the Baron next thing on the menu.
I'm ready for game 2.
Yeah, I think I am as well.
I'm excited for game 2. I think it's going to be a clean slate.
What about the Showmaker versus Diablo 1v1? Never mind.
So think about it this way.
I've
Nongshim,
tried thinking before. I can try.
Yeah, the Nongshim banned 5 mid-champions. And
Yes.
Showmaker got Victor.
Got it.
What happens when he's got fearlessly 2 champions banned additionally? So yeah, there's 2 mid laners gone from this game. No Ryze, no Victor. And then they have 5 bans. Maybe that could be the edge they're looking for.
Cassidy. Is that what you're saying?
I hope so.
Heck yeah.
That would save this series, right?
It would be fun.
This is just, you know, there's nothing. I don't want to say anything about Nongshim here because they can't do anything anymore. The game is so out of their hands that even showing up, you know, they say like half of life is showing up. In this case for Nongshim, like more than half of death is showing up.
Yeah.
You know, they just came over. They're like, maybe we can play League of Legends. And D+ said, not 10,000 gold behind, I'm afraid, my dear good sirs.
And half of that gold lead is just Showmaker. That's the crazy thing about this. They used all their bans on him, and he is the most fed in the game. As Lucid sees 3 people come over, just decides to casually finish his Raptor camp, watches Korea die, and then just leaves. That was a very weird sort of circumstance, but I think D+ is still in a great position as they have both solo laners splitting on both top and bot.
I like how a lot of this game has just been Nongshim grouping as 4 or 5 to kill someone, maybe, or almost kill someone, and then D+ are winning like literally everywhere else on the map to an insane degree, which is what's happening here as well.
Well, there's another Arcane Storm going down. Kingan taking a lot of damage from the Death Ray. And yeah, this is a lot of value. Look at how huge that Arcane Storm is. The phenom that is Arcane is now represented by Victor in League of Legends right now as he just kind of wipes them out. And yeah, I'm also ready for game 2, Wolf.
Yeah, so watch the minimap while they're chasing all the way into Raptors. You Tempered Fate's like, I mean, it's taking even longer. It's taking so long. It's taking so. Showmaker and Shu are pushing. And then this is where they end up, where a turret goes down to the Cassante, and then Showmaker here is like, we got full control over their jungle and full vision.
I wonder whether we're going to have the weird glitch again. Oh, did we? Oh, yeah, there it is.
That was very funny.
Yeah, it was like a Death Ray went everywhere. Maybe that's like an unknown upgrade if you get way too far ahead on Victor.
Yeah, if you're 9-1-4.
Death Rays actually just go everywhere.
Maybe you need 10 stacks of Dark Seal, and it just does funny things.
Hey, there we go.
Scout, I would like to tell you to leave.
Well,
I can't because you can't hear me.
Shu is, you know, just going to go in, isn't he? And taxis his way out via Scout. Lahans is able to get over there. I just don't know whether that's where he wants to be, as the Cassante is able to wipe out Lahans, who he hit, I think, maybe twice. in that whole series of events. Korea going to have to flash out of the way of King, and who does manage to burn down the Karma, but will have to sacrifice himself for it. Sponge is underneath the turret for some reason.
What?
And the curtains are going to get called. I don't ask questions, Wolf. Sponge, he's flipping, and Smash will find him. Lucid was there. He was babysitting.
I want the replay of Sponge trying to kill Smash, who's 2,000 gold ahead of his opposition, sitting on 3.5 atoms under turret.
I don't want to see that again. Why do you want to see that again?
Well, I mean, not the end of it. I want to see the beginning, like where for some reason he was like under a turret as Nefiri while the rest of his team was fighting. In live, more death.
Well, it is indeed a deadly flourish, is it not?
Yes.
There it is.
And it was quite flourishing.
Indeed.
Like Smash and D+ are in this game.
I think he did a bit of a pirouette there as well, as we have
by the way,
going back, and it now has his Magi's.
Yeah, he had it actually before this. He just bought a Codex. He's like, take the money, whatever.
Okay, there we go.
So
So we're saying Showmaker is quite large.
Yeah, so let's see what happens here.
Okay.
Showmaker pressed E, and then Smash pressed W.
Yeah, and then I think the Victor did a lot of that work. As Scout is in a little bit of an awkward spot. Lahens is backing, and the Arcane Storm is now going to follow the rise. Deadly Flourish means that he has to stand in the storm and will just die.
You know what? Dare I say it? I said it. You said it. I think Nongshim are collectively saying we are all ready for Game 2.
Yes, I would agree. D+ are going to look for an Infernal first, though. Okay, Lahens going to find the Tempered Fate. And he's also then going to find Lucid. I don't think he really wanted to, as Sponge going to have to flip out of there, and will do so. Now Showmaker on a flank angle, and yeah, Sponge going to have to flip out of that as well. At least he's able to do so, as the curtains are being called as well. Kind of under the floor here in
this
the
time,
base.
Sponge dodges. This time he gets out. He can get out on the top side on Krugs, but this time he's like, you can't snipe me both times.
Oh, Lahens has caught Shiu, though.
Maybe. Potentially.
No,
perhaps.
Really, potentially, I don't think.
No, he's totally fine. Actually, Lahens might be in trouble if he wants to go in for another little bit of poke. They are still chasing.
Well, don't look at the damage numbers.
No, I'm not.
Just don't do that.
I'm sure it's very close.
11, 1, and 5. Showmaker's having a very good day today.
You know,
I think they should ban more of Showmaker's champions.
I think they could have just put Showmaker's numbers up, and that would have been really cool.
Yeah,
but when they put
no, but you need to
contextualize
it. So maybe instead of putting Scout's numbers up, they should have put Smash's numbers up.
Yeah, I mean, like
or
for example,
anyone else.
When I saw the new like Lamborghini model that was super nice, and the interior was there, they didn't need to put a potato next to it for me to know that it was like a really nice car.
They could have at least put like a 1960s Volkswagen there or something like that. At least it's a car.
Because I feel like that's what they just did to Scout, and it almost feels like it's slander. I don't know. It's not great, but oh boy.
It's not feeling fantastic. There is now an Infernal Soul as Smash gets ulted by Sponge, but we've seen how this one goes. Still, Smash takes a fair bit of damage, and down to the GA goes the Jarvan. Shiu on protection mode, though, and the Cataclysm from Lucy gets a couple of knock-ups. Massive Arcane Storm is the result, as now, Showmaker is just going nuts. Diablo able to outrange the curtain call there, as Scout is in a red pit just pretending to be a Brambleback, as Korea is ushering him around his jungle.
Look at Smash is just trying to end the game, by the way.
Diablo might be able to kill Korea here, but the Mystic Shot is going to be avoided, and Showmaker just blows him up.
Smash is like, guys, stop having fun. I'm ready for Game 2 as well.
Yeah, he's like, did you not hear the global casters? They said they were ready for Game 2. Please, get your act together. Let's kill the Nexus.
This game has been arguably the most one-sided I think we've seen this season. And yes, it's not like a game that ends in sub 25 or anything like that. Just in terms of the kills, the bloodiness of it, like the fact that D+ feel like they have like 12 players in this game because they're defending everything, they're pushing at the same time, they're winning like 3v5s while getting a value in both side lanes. It's pretty insane as Smash just walks this off again.
I know there's a replay going on and all that sort of stuff, but you know, DK won the replay. I just
go listen to the thing. Okay, now you can talk.
Okay, cool. So there was my favorite typo ever in Twitch chat that just happened. Haru Midomori just said, "Bro got hit with the potato, but accidentally said, bro got hit with the patio instead. And honestly, I feel like that's the difference between a lot of games and this game. Nongshim, it could have been like a close fight where they were hit by a potato, but this time it does feel like they're getting hit by a patio.
Yeah, I think they're the potato getting smashed by a patio.
Well, Sponge is going to go in there looking for Showmaker, but the temp and fake it and save him again. The hands, stop it! He is able to go down finally as Lucid goes in, but I don't think he's getting out this time. It's a double kill for Smash though, make it a triple as give him the quadra because it's Jin. He only wants to get 4 as King in. Could be the pentakill, but no Smash, no! You're Jin! It needs to be 4 kills, no! Oh, and there it is, the pentakill to ruin the vibes of the Jin, but to make D+ take us to a game number 2.
And he sends the shot from his curtain call into the Nexus as a final ceremony here, as he's got a grin on his face as the Nexus will fall here.
Look at Showmaker as well, having an absolute giggle after that one.
30 long, painful moments here for Nongshim Red Force.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. That was demolition.
Got hit. This was a bit of a mid-gap, Atlas, but it was also, I think, more than that, a bit of a team synergy gap. I mean, from watching the failed Tempered Fates compared to D+ working together, the ult from Smash with Shiu pulling Scout through the wall, all those moments from D+ were brilliant to watch as Showmaker 45,000, 1,500 DPM in this game.
이즈 노플이야.
받아볼게. 야, 받아보자. 이거.
보자. 가줄게.
야, 텔부터.
왼쪽으로. 나봐줘. 아, 빅토르 봐줘.
할만한데 나 딜가 쓰는데.
야, 버리고
할만해.
라이즈 노플이야. 라이즈 이즈 노플. 이즈도 노플이야, 이즈도.
괜찮네.
야, 이즈 노플. 야, 이즈 노플. 다 노플.
괜찮네.
메타. 노플. 알아서 해. 라인 할게. 노플.
펜타 먹어야 돼.
야, 맞췄다.
괜찮네.
해봐.
괜찮네.